Hello everybody, this is Mrs. Decker, and in this video we will cover Objective 1B, Modeling Ionic Bonds. So in this video we will learn how to model the interactions of the electrons between the main group elements in an ionic bond, and then write the chemical formula. So first we're just going to take some notes on what goes in what box. In this box, number 1, Lewis dot before interaction, you're just going to write the Lewis dot structures that we learned in the previous unit. In box 2, you're going to show the transfer of electrons that happen in an ionic bond. In box 3, you'll write what the elements look like after the transfer of electrons. And in box 4, you write the chemical formula. It's the numbers of each type of element. Our first example is between lithium and fluorine. So in the first box, you're just going to draw the Lewis dot structures like we learned in Unit 1. Lithium is in group 1A, so it has 1 valence electron. Fluorine is in group 7A, so it has 7 valence electrons. So remember, draw them one at a time all the way around, and then go back and fill in where you need to. In the second box, you're going to redraw your Lewis dot structures like you drew in the first box. And now you also need to show that the lithium is going to transfer its electron to the empty spot in fluorine. So you're going to take an arrow and show this electron is moving right there to fluorine, and it's going to pair up with that other electron there. In the third box, we're going to show what the elements look like after the transfer has taken place. So we have lithium, and it's lost its 1 valence electron. So when we lose an electron, we lose negative charge. So overall, the element becomes positive. So write a +1 to show that that lithium ion has lost its electron. Then you're going to write the fluorine element, and you're going to show that it now has all 8 valence electrons, since lithium gave up its 1 valence electron to fluorine. Put that in brackets, and then since the fluorine has gained an electron, it's gained a negative charge, so you write the charge in the top right hand corner of -1. So our last step in box 4 is to write the chemical formula for the element, and the chemical formula tells us how many of each type of element are in the compound. So we had 1 lithium and 1 fluorine, so we're just going to write LiF. And that's our final compound. So now we're going to go through another example that's a little more challenging. This is the interaction between a sodium atom and a sulfur atom. So remember, in the first box, we're going to write our Lewis dot structures. So sodium is in group 1A, which means it has 1 valence electron. Sulfur is in group 6A, which means it has 6 valence electrons. And that's box 1. In box 2, remember, we're going to redraw our Lewis dot structures. And then we're going to show the transfer of electrons with arrows. So sodium is going to give up its 1 valence electron to sulfur, so that valence electron will go right there and pair with that valence electron. But we still have this valence electron that's lonely, so we need to find it a pair. So you're going to add another sodium atom with another valence electron, and that sodium atom is going to transfer its valence electron there. So now we have 2 sodium atoms that have given up their valence electrons, and the sulfur, which had 6 valence electrons, has accepted 2 valence electrons, 1 from each sodium. So now it will have a complete 8. In box 3, we're going to show what the atoms look like after they've given up or accepted electrons. So we have sodium that has one valence electron, and when it gives up that one valence electron, it will have a charge of +1. But we had 2 of those sodium atoms that gave up valence electrons, so we need to show that by writing a 2 in front of the sodium atom. We also had a sulfur atom that gained 2 electrons, so now it has 8 valence electrons. So draw the sulfur with all 8 valence electrons and put brackets around it. And it has gained 2 electrons, so that means its charge will now be -2. So in our last box, we're going to write the complete chemical formula. So we had sodium and sulfur, but we had 2 sodium atoms, so we need to show that by writing a 2 right after the Na. So we'll have Na2S, and that is our final chemical formula. Keep working on the rest of the practice problems on that worksheet, and let me know if you have any questions.